Hi, everybody. Hello. We are live. Welcome to today's live coaching class. I am very excited about the topic that we'll be talking about today, which is all about letting go of perfection. I think it's something that I find really interesting to talk about, and I hope you'll find it interesting too. You may hear a few dogs barking in the background today. We have, of course, I'm working from home, as we all are. Kids are home with me, pets are home with me. We also have some workers in the neighbourhood. I'm pretty sure we've said this every week so far for our live coaching classes. But yeah, just if you hear any background noise, everybody's fine, everybody's safe. So yeah, let's jump in. Today we are talking about perfection and the pressure that trying to achieve perfection can bring to you. You know, there's nothing wrong with having high standards, but there is a point where standards become unattainable. And when you get to that point, nothing positive comes out of the experience. And you know, perfection is really not realistic. It's one of those things. It's really interesting because perfection to different people means different things. And so it's very difficult to achieve something that everybody would consider perfect. So yeah, perfection. I don't know whether you're expecting perfection from others or whether you're trying to achieve it yourself. The outcome is really going to be the same. And that is that the pursuit of perfection, it just adds pressure and it takes away the fun in life and work and business. Perfectionism, I find, can lead to feeling unmotivated, procrastination, unwillingness to change, unwillingness to try something new, irritability, anxiety, burnout, needing to do things perfectly or expecting things to be done perfectly is a lot of extra pressure. Let's look at it a couple of different ways. We can look at it in terms of when you are trying to get things perfect and then when you're expecting other people to be perfect. So, from the point of view of you wanting to be perfect, I think the reason aiming for perfection is problematic is because you find it a lot harder to relax and enjoy what you're doing when you want it to be perfect. You find it hard to take a break, hard to switch off, which that's what I think leads to fast burnout, the inability to stop or relax or take a break from what you're doing. Yeah, you stop trying new things because you're afraid that you won't excel at them immediately. So why bother trying if you're not going to be great at it? You might become worried about what other people think. And I think that's the most ironic thing when you consider that everyone's idea of perfection is completely different. You're not going to be able to please everybody. And it's frustrating to other people too. If you're not having fun, they're not having fun either. Perfectionism role models stress and strain. It role models that as the norm to other people. And when you think about the people you can influence in your day-to-day life, at work, it would be your colleagues or the people who report to you. And then in life, it could be your children or your friends or the people that you love. If you're role modeling stress and the need for perfection, then they're going to pick up on that and think that that's something they should be trying to achieve as well. And I think if you sit back, a lot of the times when we're thinking about people we love or people we enjoy spending time with, people we like working with, deep down, I don't think we expect them to be perfect. I think the expectation of perfection happens when you're already feeling a little bit stressed. So, expectations of others. When you expect other people to be perfect, I think we can sum it up with one sentence. You are not much fun to be around. I think we're just going to let my cat into the room because I don't know if you can hear it, but he's trying to open the door. I'll be back. Hello, Bob. Isn't it ironic that we're doing a live stream on perfection and you can hear my door rattling in the background because my cat wants to come in? Hello. He doesn't care about perfection at all. Where were we? Talking about expecting others to be perfect. Yeah, you're not much fun to be around. You're so focused on getting things done exactly right that there's no room to relax, no room to enjoy the little feel-good moments that the day can bring you. You miss out on those things when you're expecting other people to be perfect. You know, that's when we start to micromanage. That's when we start to do too much, feeling like, you know, I need to do it myself because nobody else is going to do it as well as I do. That's where burnout comes from. You find yourself doing everything because you don't trust anybody else to do it well enough. And then you find yourself really nitpicking all of the details. Or you complain a lot because people just aren't living up to your expectations. And I've been guilty of this myself. I've been guilty of like stomping around the house, muttering under my breath, disappointed that somebody hasn't done like a household chore to the same level that I would have done it. And so I think it's human sometimes to feel this way, but I don't think it's helpful to feel this way. Yeah. I mean, does that sound like somebody you want to spend time with? Does that sound like somebody you would like to buy from or work with? No. Wouldn't it be better to just relax, lower your expectations, have a little more fun? I don't know about you, but I would rather buy a good cup of coffee from the warm and friendly cafe owner who says hello, remembers my name, seems happy to see me, happy to be making coffee. I would rather buy from them than I would buy from the perfectionistic barista who is so focused on making the perfect cup of coffee that it takes 3 times as long and they don't even make eye contact with me because they're so focused on what they're doing. I'd rather work with a coach who is relaxed and friendly, who enjoys what they do, who helps me overcome hurdles as they appear, instead of working with somebody who expects perfection of me every step of the way and gets annoyed when I don't deliver on it. I bet you'd prefer happy and relaxed instead of perfectionistic as well, right? It's a more pleasant experience for everybody. So, what do we do about it? Well, let's take some pressure off and embrace a little more imperfection and have a little more fun. I've got some ideas to get you started. So, now is the time to grab a pen and paper and jot down some notes, or press pause if you're watching the replay. Here are some ideas to get you started on taking the pressure off, embracing a little bit more imperfection, having a little bit more fun. Have you been procrastinating on something because you're worried that it won't be good enough? Try being curious instead about how it will turn out. Curious is a really interesting word. You don't have to be scared of it not turning out well. Just try going, oh, I wonder what will happen. And remind yourself, what's the absolute worst that can happen? And then if that happens, what can you do about it? In every single case, no matter what happens, you can still make an improvement later, or you can simply let it go. And either way, you'll feel better about it. Oh, I can hear my kids. I'm just going to go and check on them. Everyone's fine. So yeah, what's the absolute worst that can happen? And if the absolute worst happens, what can we do about it? Well, we can fix it, or we can even just let it go. The world won't end. Now think of something that you enjoy doing, something that you do pretty well. And think back to, say, the very first time that you tried to do it. For me, one example would be when I first learnt to drive. When I took my first driving lesson, I was terrible. I was stressed out. I was trying to stay in my lane. I was trying not to hit anything. I was trying to use the blinker when I needed to go around the corner, and trying to focus on those things while also focusing my foot on the accelerator. Like the whole thing. It was anything but perfect. But now I hardly have to think about driving anymore. I can just hop in my car and drive, and I can enjoy it. I can drive safely and confidently, whether it's raining or it's sunny. Am I perfect? No. Am I good enough? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Yes. Is that the part that really matters? Yes. Let it be easy. Once you get started on a new task or project or adventure, momentum starts to pick up. You start feeling like you're working in flow. Everything feels better. Just one small step is enough to begin. You can always go back and tweak for improvement later if it still feels important by then. Sometimes what we think has to be perfect now, or what we think is really, really important now, as in today, right now, in this moment, sometimes you look back on that a couple of weeks later and you think, oh, it wasn't actually as important as I thought. I didn't have to get it as perfectly as I thought I had to. So yeah, you can always tweak later if something still feels important in the future. Oh, and you know what? You can tell yourself, actually, I am pretty good at this. I'll just keep going a little bit longer and see what happens when you're faced with something that's a bit of a challenge. Just tell yourself, yeah, no, hang on, I'll just do it for a bit longer because actually I am pretty good at this stuff. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Curiosity lowers the pressure. I think one of the favorite things that I like to do is ask myself, in 10 years' time, who's actually going to really, really care about what I'm worried about right now? In 10 years' time, who's going to care? Is anyone going to care about this in 10 years? No? So why do I need it to be perfect? Lower your expectations of other people as well. Will the world really end if they don't do something how you would do it? They don't do it as well or as fast or as reliably as you. What's the worst that can happen? I think my favorite tip would be focus on what people do well instead of their shortcomings. So if you're finding yourself continuously frustrated with somebody's efforts, then try writing a list of all of the things that they do well. All of the good things that they do, all of the things they do that make you happy or impress you or make you feel good or have a good influence on others. Write a list and then read through that list whenever you feel frustrated with that person. It will completely change your perception of them in the moment. It will lower your expectations of them every time. And you'll get along better. And you'll be easier to get along with. You'll have more fun. You'll have more success. Things will go well. in business and in life. And that's it for today. I hope you found it helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts about perfection as well. And a little reminder, if you're joining me in September for the Let It Be Easy program, it's currently in pre-sale. So if you register before September 6th, then you'll save $600 and you'll also get $888 in bonuses. I'll leave a link in the description so that you can click through and find out more. I'd love to see you in that program. And that's it for today. I hope you had fun. I know I did. I had a great time chatting. I'm looking forward to our next live session this time next week. And I will see you then. Bye.